So how do you know if your beer's finished brewing? How do you know if you've got a stuck fermentation? How do you know what the possible strength of your beer is going to be? Let's have a look in this video. Right, welcome back ladies and gents. It has been a long while since I've done a video where I've been busy with family life. I am back, I am still brewing. I've even got the t-shirt to prove it. My still brewing t-shirts, very excited about those this time. In today's video we are going to be covering off what is the hydrometer. This little glass instrument. It looks really complicated at first, there's so much information on there, but we only need one part of it. So for example, if we are brewing a beer, people will always talk about your specific gravity, your starting gravity, your original gravity, which is your first reading, and then your final gravity, which is the final reading, and that's the one you take at the end of fermentation. It also allows you to check how you're doing along the fermentation and to make sure that it is actually done. So the standard scale on here, all we're interested in is 1.000. That's the starting point of water. Okay, and how this does it is it's a floating device and it measures the density of the liquid. So it's not necessarily the sugar, because not everything within your brew is going to be fermentable. It just measures the density. So if it starts, water is at 1.00. When you add your fermentables and everything else into the water, this is going to rise up, and you know, it may hit somewhere around 1050, 1060 or 48. You know, it depends. So you take that original reading. Then as the beer ferments out, the density reduces, the liquid becomes thinner, and it starts to sink. And you monitor that, and then when it gets to your desired final gravity, for example if it's 1010, you wait until it gets down there, and you watch it for a couple of days and make sure it stays there, and that will tell you that it's finished, because it's no longer dropping. It's not going past the 1.10, so that's absolutely fine. It's finished. If it stops around 1030, it's possibly not finished fermenting and you've got a stuck fermentation. So that's the kind of readings, but it depends about the fermentables you've got in there. So that is basically it. We'll go into it a bit more in a bit later on. Its sister tool is the alcoholometer. Now this one measures the strength of a spirit, and it cannot be used for your beer making, your wine making or anything else. The fermentation process must be done with a hydrometer. So let's set up a bit of a thing. I've got here some oversized Grolsch bottles, and in one we'll place the hydrometer, and in the other we'll place the alcoholometer. So as you can see, it's slightly higher than 20 degrees. The hydrometer and the alcoholometer are set to a 20-degree liquid. These are probably about 25-30, but unless it's ridiculously high, so if you were measuring something like a 70-degree liquid, then yes, you're going to see a huge difference in your reading. But anywhere 10 degrees more or less, you know, it's about 0.1 of a reading. So you might not be able to see it here. I'll put on a picture so you can. Straight away this has dropped to 1.000, which is the gravity of water. And on the alcoholometer it's at 0, because there is no alcohol in there whatsoever. So that's how the two different scales work. As you add more fermentables, sorry, let me move that. As you add more fermentables into the water, it's going to rise and keep rising until it settles. That is now your starting gravity. As it ferments out, it will lower down again until it hits your final gravity. And as I say, that's when you know your beer is finished. If ever you come to me and you ask me questions about why is it doing this, why is it not doing that, is it ready yet, the first thing I'm going to ask you is what readings have you got? So please make sure, if you've not got one, get a hydrometer and use it. Record your findings, record your starting gravity, record your final gravity. Once you've done that, for example, maybe you've done your wash, maybe it was a sugar wash you've done and it's gone all the way down to 992, 0.992, all the sugar is fully gone, there's no more sugar for it to be had. Then what you do with it in the next process, you're going to need the alcoholometer. Now, as I say, this starts at 0 and it measures in increments of 10, and that is your actual alcohol percentage by volume. So you've got 10%, 20%, If you was to say running this through a still, maybe through an air still, you'd be looking at 55–60% on a wash coming through. Maybe on a reflux still like the T500 or something, you're going to be looking at it down there around the 90 mark, possibly even higher. All depends on what you're running through it. But that tells you the strength of your alcohol. It will not work with a beer because it's just not strong enough. There's not enough alcohol content in there for it to take a reading. So unless you're doing spirits, you don't need that one. This is the one you need. Alright, they're only a couple of pounds. Get 2 of them because you are guaranteed to break one. I've just done it myself. Okay, so you've got your starting gravity and you've got your final gravity. So how do you work out your ABV? Well, there is a calculation you can do, and you can do this with a calculator if you've got one. So you take the starting gravity and you deduct the final gravity, and then you're going to multiply that by 131.25, and that will give you your alcohol content. So for example, if I've started my wash at 1060, my final gravity is 1010, subtract it, times it by that, and that gives me a 6.5% beer or wine or whatever it is you're doing. 6.5%. The other way you can do that is to just go into Google and search for an ABV calculator, and you'll be able to enter your starting gravity, your final gravity, and it will do the sum for you. So that's the easiest way. You can get apps that do it as well. Just Google it, it's dead straightforward, or remember that sum. I'll pop it up here, starting gravity minus final gravity, multiply by 131.25, and that gives you your ABV. It's that simple. Any further questions on it, please drop me a comment, ask me in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the content, the channel, and I will answer you. I usually get back to you within the hour. As soon as I see it, I'll get back to you. And I think that covers this video off. So thumbs up if you like my t-shirt, still brewing. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, keep on brewing.